And hello, good day in the Viking tongue. I am Bragi.
And I am Egil Tjhorsson.
And we are indeed a pair of Vikings.
Ooh.
I like saying that. Yeah. And what are we here for today, folks?
What is it?
It's the Viking Vlog 28.
Who'd have thought it?
That's going to be on a t-shirt one day, Egil.
Yeah, wow.
So how are you today? Nice to meet you.
Hello. I'm Tickety-boo and a half.
I'm Bragi.
Yeah. I hate to say it as you shake my hand, but I have had a bout of eczema.
Oh, that's all right.
But it's drying up now.
Yeah, you do have bad eczema on your hand.
It's just up on the hand.
I mean, did Vikings have eczema and how would they cope with it?
It's quite possible. I mean, possibly less because they may have drunk more goat's milk than I do. I don't drink any. And seawater is supposed to be good.
Well, next time we get some spare the dermo cream we got, we'll give you some of that. It might help you.
Well, I as I say, it's the hot weather that brings it on more than anything. And as you can see, the sky is sweating at the moment.
Well, what a way to start a vlog, talking about eczema on your hands. But there you go. So this is indeed the 28th vlog of this series. It used to be a weekly vlog, but I think we found it a little bit too hard to keep the consistency up. And once we stopped going weekly, well, it just didn't happen.
We're banging out a lot of stuff.
We are banging out a lot of content. So we get a vlog whenever you get a vlog, but we do intend to film quite a few more, and we'll see where we go. So the first thing we always do in a vlog is talk about the house updates. What have you been up to since the last time we filmed?
I'm at present engaged in combat with the government, with the council.
I thought you were going to say you was engaged. I thought, wow!
I should be so lucky. Women don't find me attractive.
Oh, we're sure to do. Leave a comment for Egil, women, ladies. Woof woof, as you would say.
Yeah, woof.
So.
Yeah, but as I say, I mean, I've been sorting out the council tax. I've still got to go tomorrow.
Oh, it's a bit of a pain for you, isn't it?
It is, because we all know what's going to happen. I'm not saying I'm not paying it. It's just that I'm paying what I can afford.
What do you do when you haven't got the money and they're demanding your council tax?
You just negotiate. Like, that's what I am. I have the curse of universal credit, and I've just made my glasses worse. You've got the curse of universal credit. Thank you, whoever.
Can you explain that to all you folks that don't know what it is?
If you're unemployed, you get a certain amount of money. We call it the dole in this country.
Yes.
And it used to be called job seekers allowance.
It did.
Some areas of the country still have it.
GSA.
And it was paid fortnightly.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, am subject to universal credit.
Yes.
Which as the name infers, pays your rent, council tax, rent, and some money to survive on. Now, technically I'm a fiver better off. However, it's paid monthly, which means all your bills come at once.
Well, of course so.
And also the rent that they pay, you've got to remember to take that out of the lump sum. A lot of people aren't doing that. I mean, I'm lucky in that I got caught the first month, and it wasn't until the housing association said, look, you've got to pay it. And I said, I thought it was already sent. So I've got that sorted, but it's a pain in the neck, and thank you government for doing it that way. Thank goodness I retire in 17 months and 30 odd days.
Oh, you're counting down, are you?
I'm too right, mate.
Well, it makes you think how many people in your situation. I mean, you've got people in the UK that, nurses and people who have a full-time living, but yet they're having to go to food banks just to get food because they haven't got enough money coming in to live. It's a terrible situation.
I haven't got that far, but I'm lucky in that I cook, I have a deep freeze, and I've got very good friends.
You still got that baby beetroot head in your deep freezer from about 10 years ago.
I actually threw that out.
You didn't, did you?
There are species of fish in there that went extinct millennia ago because I thought if I leave it in there, there's going to be trouble.
Oh.
I took all the stuff that was old out, but like I say, it's no laughing matter. Anybody on you.
Well, no doubt we've got some more cans coming your direction soon. Well. So there you go.
But this is it. This is where friendship helps out a lot.
If you're short, I'll help you out. Buy your meal, buy your pint.
Yeah. But there are a lot of people out there who they forget to pay the rent or don't want to pay the rent. and they've landed themselves in a great deal of trouble.
Or let alone if you've got a second bedroom.
Yeah.
I did see somebody from the the job centre the other day, quite high up, saying how a success Universal Credit is, but how many people have killed themselves because of it? Quite a few, and it's very sad. Yeah. So let's move on from that, and let's just go back to something we had happen a few months back, which is Mousegate. Has Mousegate now officially ended?
Yes.
Can we declare it finished?
I have slaughtered every mouse that has been in my presence. I thought I had a resurgence, but it's where I put something hot in the bin.
We wouldn't normally recommend killing mice, but when you've got a house and your mice are in your house, what are you meant to do?
When I live in the garden, they can kill me.
Fair enough.
But if they come in my house and don't pay rent, death.
It does remind you of that folk tale we told about the mouse on the sausage. Remember that one?
Yes.
I like that folk tale.
Yeah.
That's on the channel, folks. Now, anything else you want to add?
No,
any of your updates?
I'm sort of up to date on that, and I went and had a barbecue in Leicester.
Oh.
Be about a fortnight ago, and we had a good time. I didn't sleep for 24 hours, but but having said that, we got, and I don't advise people do this, we had a nice lot to drink, and then we got an air rifle out and were shooting at pennies.
Fair enough.
And the weird thing is, the drunker we got, the more accurate we got.
Yeah, well, you should never really fundamentally play with guns when you're drunk. Just be very careful. Not my... as somebody with a licence...
This is
very bad. It's an air rifle.
Air rifle, yeah.
But
we could have bought...
it only takes one shot to shoot somebody in the head.
Yeah, well, as I say, this was up against a tree.
But at least you're qualified, as you have served in the armed forces. Yeah. So there you go.
And the guys who I were with has got shotgun certificates, rifle, firearm certificates. So we were well behaved.
Good.
Don't do it. But, don't drink neat gin. It's not nice.
Yeah, especially you children out there watching. Don't drink it all. It's bad. Leave it to mummy and daddy.
Well, my mate Rob was drinking it at 9 o'clock in the morning, and by the gods, he looked rough. None of us.
Hello there to Rob. Not heard from him for a while on the channel. Leave a comment.
None of us look like a basket of fruit, so fair's fair. What's on next?
Well, normally we go to me now.
Yeah.
You always forget that bit when you ask my update. Sometimes you do.
What happened with you?
Well, I've been editing videos. I've been filming. We've been filming again. So since the last vlog when we wasn't able to film because of weather and you wasn't ill last week and that, so we've been filming more. Been editing. I've been working on some gaming content again on my gaming channel. So I put some content up there recently. In fact, one of them was a Skyrim video, and it's Skyrim Viking versus Giant. And we have now started a new series, and we've just done day one. I think I've got to edit that video. And the character of our new Nord, our Viking character, is called Egil Tjhorsson.
Yay!
So now we've got to go and find a barber and get your head designed to look like your character on the game. And at some point in the future, we have both talked about doing more gaming commentary with Egil commentating on what I'm doing, and perhaps even you might see Egil have a go. But you don't do gaming, do you?
No, I'm of a different generation.
When was the last time you played on a computer game?
1978.
So there you go.
You remember the old one with the two paddles?
Yeah, I had one of them. I sold it.
Yeah, that's the last time I played a computer game. I enjoyed it, but
somehow I think computer games have advanced since then.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so,
they were steam powered when I did.
Steam-powered computer games, really, Egil? Oh. So I think that would be very funny. I know one or two people have mentioned that. Another video idea from Iric was Egil Rocks the Axe. And you may be wondering what's that about. Well, the idea is we'll pick some famous music track, probably from Motorhead or Jethro. You're big fans of them.
Yeah, check the copyright though.
No, we're going to put it on the Bragi Magnarsson channel. It don't matter about copyright. We're using fair use for this. Under Fair Use Act, yeah. So we might record him actually rocking out to a guitar. If I could do some panoramic views of him like in the garden, like in November rain, and I might do that.
I used to play the guitar quite a lot.
But we're not starting a band called Garth and Simon's Uncle, no.
I was actually in several bands and quite good at it, but I wasn't as good as I thought I was.
You didn't get a top #1 single then?
No,
Right.
we played working men's clubs mostly.
Did you play Woodstock?
No, I played Jacksdale.
Oh, Jacksdale.
Now, thing is, I was on 30 quid a week as a factory worker.
Yeah.
I was
What
earning,
year was this?
it'd be about 77, something like that.
I was a baby.
And I was earning on top of that 30 quid a week. So playing in bands. So as you could see, it's quite profitable.
Oh, fair enough.
The politics stank.
Yeah.
Really did. But hey.
Of course, everybody joins bands for their own reasons, but we're not going to go into that.
I joined because there were women and money.
Yes, well,
Great fun. If you try and join because of the music, you're not going to get anywhere. It's a business. There's no romance to it whatsoever. And so-called friends, you stab them, they'll stab you in the back.
not literally.
No, verbally and emotionally. That's why I packed it in.
Such is life. Another thing I've been up to was I went to the hospital last week.
Oh.
It wasn't me. No, I'm fine, folks. You know, it was my
me?
dad.
Ah.
My dad had a regular blood test last Thursday, and then about 7:30, some doctor phoned up saying I had to take my dad to hospital. And, well, I demanded that they send an ambulance. If they want him, they can come and get him. So they sent an ambulance pretty quickly, actually. The guy was Scottish. So I told him about our Scottish folktale we just told, but then again, I thought he might be from Newcastle, so I don't know. So I'm always... oh, yeah, you bampot. So I'm always spreading gossip and word about... Not gossip, I'm always spreading word about the channel. We don't do gossip, do we? We're Vikings.
Certainly don't. Well,
Oh, yes.
we know certain Vikings who do.
Well, I know, but, you know,
No name, no Patron.
such is life, and life is a variety of people. So,
Yeah.
let's talk about a new series we've very recently started on a Monday, and that is the hashtag 2 Minute History Monday series.
Yeah, that keeps you on your feet. Spending 2 minutes, it doesn't sound much, but it's stuff I learnt 40 years ago
I know.
and things like that. But, you know, they are informative, and what we're trying to do is to get you interested, maybe research further on and leave comments and things like that.
Yeah.
And that seems to be fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, let me explain where I got this idea from. But you may not understand or know where I got the idea from. Because I've been thinking about our content for a while. And I think I was on a History of Hilbert, his channel, watching one of his videos. And as I always do, I always go and read through the comments whenever I get a chance. And one of the comments there was saying how much he liked History of Hilbert's content because what it gave you was a very brief and snappy answer to the video. And he was kind of saying, thank you for that, because I often watch content and I mean, we've done this. We film content and we can go on and talk about a subject for half an hour. But I wanted to film the actually opposite of that and give a very brief video, you know, on a subject, very short and snappy. And I think that's the kind of way that format's going very well. I'm very happy with it.
Well, it's the sort of thing, I think, where people say, 2 minutes, I'll have a listen. Maybe they say, okay, I enjoyed that, or, God, not more history, and move on. Either way, you've got the message across.
Of course, the idea also came from, I think, Peter McKinnon, because he does a 2 minute photography thing. And I've seen one or two other video channels from photography that do like a 2 minute Thursday photography tip. So I thought, well, that would kind of work out for us.
Yeah.
So we're going to stick to that format on a Monday, and you know, we're going to continue that for the next few years, because I think that's going to really help us to get our content out and give the folks that do want a short and snappy answer that video.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
So
So,
we'll go with the flow on that one.
I never thought, you know, we'd be teaching like that. It's fascinating.
Well, I mean, we aim to educate wherever we can and amuse. And those two should go together.
They definitely should do.
Yeah. I mean,
The day we stop being funny is the day we stop making content, yeah?
yeah, well, I mean, I've met some very clever people in my time, people who leave me standing, and that was boring as, I don't know,
Well,
boring.
some of these channels can be boring. You know, they can just talk to you, and where's the entertainment? I don't laugh. I learned something, but I've not laughed, and I want a little bit of both. I want to learn, and I want to have a little bit of laugh and end up with a smile on my face, because I really enjoyed that.
Well, I mean, I'm dyslexic, I'm also slightly autistic, So I had to learn my way, which was having fun.
And I think that's very inspiring for anybody who does suffer from dyslexia or autism, because, you know, you're doing a tremendous job here, Egil. Well done.
There's a lot of autism out there, especially in my family, and it's not a curse. In some ways, it's a great thing because it makes you focus on one particular thing. And
of course, you also have Asperger's as well.
Yeah. Again, you know, people focus in on it. And I didn't realise I got it because my nephew, bless him, has got it. My sister was filling the forms in, and I said, "Good God, do you realise that we're very close on the spectrum?" It also explains a lot of why my life has gone the way it has. But yeah, c'est la vie.
Oh yeah, but you know, it's another thing. I mean, how would they cope back in the day with such things? Wouldn't have known about such things.
I don't think they would have known about it. It's just something that happens, you know. My theory is that there's been a program called The Lost Tribes of Humanity, and when I was a student, this is a bit long-winded, when I was a student, I noticed some people are hairier than others.
Indeed, some people are very hairy.
Well, I thought I'll do a lecture on My Brother Is an Hairy Man. And that is because, in my view, Neanderthal and Homo sapien got together. And
They must have done.
The more Neanderthal you've got, the hairier it is. I was told I was an idiot. And I have been proven right over time. Not only that, the great anthropologist...
I don't know his name.
No, it's a she.
She. That's the problem when you're doing these videos on the spot and you've got to think about something. You can't always remember
Alice
these
Roberts.
things. Alice Roberts. Oh, yes.
Yeah. She has discovered there were 4 more different types of human. There's Deniscian and various others. In fact, one is so new, it's just called Ancient African. And we think all of these have come apart. Now, imagine all that coming together in a human being. Yes, we have survivability. But I think one of the processes coming out of that may be autism. And I'd be interested to know whether people who have stronger Neanderthal genes suffer from Asperger's and...
Well, that would be a very interesting research if anybody's done that or going to do that.
Well, if Alice Roberts is watching, but there you go, Gav.
How does that explain the fact that autism's rising so quickly, though?
I think it's because we recognise it far more than we ever did. I mean, I think things are pretty level. I mean, this is only my view. I think it's always been there. It's like diabetes. Millions of people out there have got diabetes and don't know it. I was
going to say that.
Yeah. See, my dad, I'm sure, was diabetic. He had all the symptoms. Yet myself and my sister were type 2 diabetics. That's because we had too much when we were younger, and I'm still paying for it. But again, this would have passed unnoticed. You might find that some people tended to need the lavatory a lot more, drank a lot more, and lost their temper quickly. Those are signs today. But they wouldn't know anything. They'd just say that's the way that person is. And today, I can see, you know, you go around the cities, it stands out, but you know they'll never find out until it's too late.
Well, that's very interesting, and perhaps we'll look at them at subjects at a further date. Just to go back to the 2-minute history Monday before we move on to another subject. If you have any questions or any ideas for any of the content for the Monday series, so if you have a question you want to pose for us, then we're more than happy to write them down and record those 2-minute history episodes for you. So leave it in a hashtag 2-minute history video with your question behind that, please. So we're going to move on. We're going to just very briefly talk about the Rune series. I know did we mention it in the last vlog? I'm not sure. I can't remember now. But we're very close now to the end. We've got about 8 weeks, 10 weeks left, I think. Towards we finish that series, publishing wise.
Yeah, publishing wise.
Yeah, we've about filmed it. We have filmed it. We completed today, so there's an exclusive for you.
Yeah, but we've got some more to publish. There's also a lot more to cover.
Oh yes.
Other Futharks, various ideas, which I'll need
I think we did talk about it in the last video, because I think we talked about how we've got 9 series planned in total over the next 4 years for that series alone, splitting up Wednesday, making it Rune Wednesday. So,
could well be. Or Futhlark Friday.
Oh yeah, I think Odin would be very happy with us for spreading the knowledge.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I know, I think it will do. So apparently, according to a comment the other day on my gaming channel, I have been associated and said that I am Bob Ross.
Bob Ross?
Yeah. Now Bob Ross is this dude from America who used to paint pictures on TV.
Frizzy hair.
Frizzy hair.
Oh, I'm just going to put a little bit of green in there.
Yeah. Because somebody watched one of my gaming commentary videos and said this is like watching Bob Ross do gaming.
That's going back to the 70s.
So I left a comment saying, well, who the heck is Bob Ross? And then naturally I googled him and remembered.
There was a comedy show, The Fast Show. He did a version of that as a psycho.
Oh.
Yeah. Black.
So there's that random thought for a minute.
Yeah.
So the next little bit of the section is Egil's section of the vlog, and Egil today is going to chat about the Rus Vikings for a couple of minutes.
Now I found out something new.
Yeah.
There was on the Smithsonian channel.
Yeah.
There
Good
is
channel.
Mystic Britain with Clive Anderson and Marianne Ocha.
Taking a selfie on the live stream.
Yeah. And they were talking about the Rus, and apparently Rus stands for those who row. Now, that would make sense. The Rus were a formidable tribe. A lot of them had the head shaved, apart from the bit at the back,
Yes.
which they would plait. They would cover from fingertips right up with tattoos. Ibn Fudun said that they had green drawings of ferns and all
Trees
sorts.
and all sorts.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they were notorious slavers as well as traders. And whether this is the case or not, I don't know, but they were said that the people who were the Russians asked for the Rus to come and rule them. Sounds a bit sus, I don't know whether that's true or not. But anyway, they went up and they founded Novgorod, Vladivostok and all these
yes,
places.
of course they did, yes.
And if you look at the ancient clothing like we're wearing,
Well, I'm wearing my baggy trousers today.
and if you look at the way the Tsars were dressed formerly, there is very little difference. Same in the art styles. And I think you've got a Rus jacket there.
But this is a kaftan.
Kaftan.
Yeah, I've got that wrong.
It's got it upside down as well. It's fighting him. He's winning.
This is really nice, this actually.
Yeah.
This is like a really fancy dressing gown.
It reminds me of a teddy boy's drape.
But we have done a video on that. It was early in the week.
If you didn't blink, you'll have seen that. But the Rus, as I say, eventually they adopted the Slavic ways, and as I say, the country now called Russia, we think, or I think, came from the Vikings. They say there's also Slavic influences as well.
And we do have some followers from Russia too.
Yeah.
So hello to our Russian followers and subscribers.
Nostrovia.
Indeed. And we have told 1 or 2 Russian folk tales.
Certainly have.
We do intend to tell quite a few more. Now, can I just mention there something about, you said about tattooing with colours? Because I know tattooing in the Dark Ages is a little bit controversial, because we don't know whether they had or not. I expect they had tattooing.
Oh, they had them, but we don't know of what.
But it makes you think about, you said about the colours and about the dyes. So, because you often think, well, a tattoo in the time period would be just black ink, dark ink. But now that got me thinking about what colours could be available, what dyes to actually ink you up.
The colours I've got are vegetable dyes, natural, and they don't fade and they don't bleed. If you have something like that, which is very fine lined, eventually it's like blotting paper.
It will spread out.
Yeah, this won't.
Right.
Because of this new ink, Abacus of Derby, all right then Stu, it doesn't fade and it doesn't bleed. Whether that remains to be seen, I don't know. But I had noticed when he did these for me, how much they'd have bled. And I've only had them 5 years.
So that could be an interesting video idea if he's up for it and you have another tattoo. We could actually film it.
Well, I would like another tattoo. It's a matter of saving up.
Yeah, so if we had a PayPal account, somebody could pay for one.
60 quid an hour, mate.
It's not cheap, is it?
It's the Erminsill.
Yeah.
The Hammer of Thor. They hold the sky with.
I mean, I don't have any tattoos. Dad don't like them. But I would have tattoos like Egil has, because to me it's kind of a spiritual tattoo in your Norse mythology and your Norse beliefs. So to me, that's what I would have.
As I told my brother, tattoo, it falls into two camps. Those who will never have one as long as they live, and that's fine. And those, like me, who look like someone's drawn all over them. Now, the thing you've got to remember with a tattoo, anybody who's thinking, you've got it for life. If you're happy with it. I'm happy with these. In fact, I don't even notice I've got them on. But I had my first tattoo when I was 50. And I said if I didn't like it, fair enough. But you get into it. But you have to understand. They talk about tattoo removal. Yeah, they can. But it leaves a massive red mark.
Oh.
And it's ideal if you want to put another tattoo in.
Well, it's better to have your tattooed reworked, isn't it?
Yeah. But basically you're stuck with them for life. If you've got them, you've got them. And this is why it's important. Never put your loved one's name on you. It's called the curse. But even if you're married, don't. Because for some reason, it happens.
Now, you see tattoos. Some days you see like one of a bird, of a bluebird. What does that represent? Or the one with the eye tear on the man's face?
Right. Well, they do have traditional meanings. The ones with the tears means you murdered somebody.
Really?
And the bluebird, usually there, isn't it?
Yeah.
That means you've been in prison and you're free. Now, the more obscure one, you'll see like a beauty spot there. And that means you've been to Borstal.
Oh.
Barbed wire means you've got issues.
Or your ex-actor from Baywatch.
But the thing is,
Actress.
a lot of them have meanings. There's also fashions. Remember the old tribal art things?
Oh, of course so, yes.
They are a swine to remove, and they're out of date. Then came stars. Now, what I have, you can't see them all, I have from Norse mythology and Norse rune magic. And I have two ravens, because that's what I associate with. They're not in fashion, and they're not out of fashion. I could come back 30 years from now, and it'll just be, oh, they're odd. And that's the point. Have a theme. If I hadn't had these, I'd probably have gone for the Pictish symbols or the cave drawings at Lascaux.
Yeah.
But the point is, they're neither fashionable or unfashionable. So as I say, I won't have tattoos on my neck or on my face or hands. But it does take a lot of commitment, I think, to do that, and more strength to people who are willing to do it. But you have to understand that there are still prejudice against tattoos.
Well, of course so.
I mean, my late mother, she would never have dared have tattoos anywhere near her. But no, I had them because I felt that's what I wanted. But you've got to be sure. Now, another tip I'll give you. People say, oh, that tattoo's too expensive. Save up for it. Your tattooist will understand. And if necessary, pay them off in bits before you... And then, if that's the one you really want, remember, you've got it for life. So don't settle for second best.
Oh, yeah, I'll just tell you a little brief story about a guy we used to know called Max.
Oh, all right.
Max was a guy who did a bit of reenacting with me, and his Viking name is Olaf. You sometimes will hear us refer to Olaf. It's kind of like a little sign of respect, but he had a tattoo. And the first tattoo he had was his name, and it was Maximus up his arm. And it kind of made you think, well, why in the hell would you get your name tattooed on your own arm? So...
Everybody does it for a reason. I mean, you see all kinds of things, but don't have a funny tattoo, because funny tattoos may be funny first time you see them and can lead you to a lot of problems later on.
Yeah. Another friend of mine was going to get his name tattooed on a certain place, but he started and decided just to do the initials. It was less painful.
Well, again, it depends on the individual. I personally, I've only ever had one time where I felt really bad. And on here, I've got a warrior from the Sutton Hoo helmet riding down his enemy.
Yeah.
Now, the outline was all right. I had 3 done in that day. But he was filling it in and I was sweating like crazy. And he said, I thought I'd lost you. I says, I thought I'd gone and all. But, no.
Makes you think. Has anybody ever died while having a tattoo?
May not have died, but what it is, if you've got a decent tattooist, like I have, I've got 2 ravens here. The second raven I had to wait the next day because instead of blood coming out was plasma. And that's your body saying, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's no medals for having them done. I mean, I knew a girl, she was 4 or 5 hours in the chair. And believe you and me, that takes some doing. Certain parts of the body are harder. If you get tattooed on your ribs, by gum, you know. And I've got them down my actual spinal column, which is supposed to hurt, but to be honest with you, it didn't hurt me at all. What it feels like, imagine a biro that doesn't write, and someone's writing on your arm with it.
Yeah.
It felt like that. Sometimes it touches a nerve and you'll find your arm flip up or your leg twitch.
I know in prison they use a biro.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll get a Walkman and they'll use the motor of the Walkman to propel the biro pen with a needle inside. That's how they do it in prison. And
go to a proper tattooist.
So there you go, tattooing.
And last one, do not have anybody who say, "I'll come round and do it for you."
No.
They're called scratches and you'll end up with blood poisoning. Go to a proper tattooist.
Definitely.
You know, it's sanitary.
I'm going to get a lot older. When I get a beard, I may have some tattoos and I'm older. I'm not old enough yet.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, like I said, I was 50. And if you don't have any, you don't have any. No probs.
The only medal I had the other day was a canteen medal. It kind of reminds me of a joke when I went to the doctors and I said, "Doctor," I said, "there's something very wrong with me." I said, "I got all food in my pocket and I got all food in this pocket." And they said, "Well, you're not eating properly." Now, moving on from that, we're going to end this vlog talking about 2 brief subjects, which we've not really talked about and a bit off the subject, but the first one is going to be about mental health because, you know, we have lots of men follow this channel. You know, the proportion up to men to women is quite high. And, you know, we experienced men of the world, aren't we? You know, we're pretty tough, but not everybody struggles with life, do they?
Well, the sad thing is, if you break your arm, you go and see a doctor.
Yes.
If something's wrong in your mind, you think, "Oh, I'll get over it." Don't. If you've got problems, go and see your GP. Mental health is one of those hidden things that shouldn't be. We all get depressed. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can get manic depressives. And of course, if you're too long watching television, too long on the old keyboards, give yourself a break. Get out in the fresh air and try and meet people. Now, it's funny actually. I'm reading a book at the moment called Confederacy of Dunces.
Good book.
Oh, I love it. It's about the 3rd time I'm reading it. And the hero Ignatius, he spends all his time in this fantasy world stuck in his bedroom. Now, his problem is he doesn't go out. When he does go out, he causes mayhem. But the thing is, don't be an Ignatius. Don't stay isolated. Try and get out there. The longer you leave it, the harder it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, talk to somebody. I mean, talking to people about your problems, even a stranger or your neighbour or a relative that you know you can talk to, is a great way to solve those problems.
Go out one night on your own and have a pint and just listen to people.
But as YouTubers run the same risk of having a burnout because of the fact that your content can very quickly find yourself with a lot of people watching you, and lots of people. I mean, very recently we had a YouTuber kill himself. It's very sad. Ithaca, and depressed you. So
also
rest in
another
peace.
thing is, if you have say a different religion or you've got a hobby, join a club.
Yes.
Meet with like-minded people and talk to each other, and that helps a lot. There were times when I've come close, to being really depressed, and it's not very nice.
No, but if you think happy thoughts, you'll generally be happier.
Well, there you do it. I joined the Reenactment Society and had a bloody good time. You know, beating hell out of each other, getting drunk. I have a very simple mindset. But also it led to, well, I've been researching the Vikings way before I did a degree. But having said that, it's an interest.
I mean, how would Vikings cope with the stresses of life?
Well, I can only speak of my religion today, which is Odinic. Get your sword, swing it around, and out. Really, make sure you've got plenty of space. By the way, you don't want to knock.
Yeah, don't do it indoors.
Yeah, you don't want to knock the Royal Dalton off the.
Don't do it on the bus.
No, or in a crowd.
Yeah,
but also friends. And people say, you you pray to Odin. No, I don't. We don't pray at all. 99.9% of the problems of the world are created by men, humans. So therefore, 99.9% of the problems can be solved by talking to your friends. In the Norse, friends are a lot stronger.
Yes, friendship is everything.
Yeah, and there's one of our things is, a friend be a friend, though he strike me, still be my friend. Which is sometimes bloody hard to go through. But there's that. You can, well, it depends on your belief system.
Well, of course so.
If you're a Christian, pray to God.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong in that. It's your religion. And never denigrate a person's religion.
No.
Never do that because...
You're just knocking your own faith.
Yeah. Well, we all pray to the same thing, really.
Of course so. It's universal energy that governs everything in the universe, positive and negative.
It's just how we identify with
We manifest it into figures. That's what humanity has done. Because we cannot relate to the energy. It's too powerful.
We need something in between. Hence we have the gods. Christians have Jesus.
I mean, I tend to worship Freya more than Odin because I just like ladies. Woof woof. Anyway.
No, she's my mother.
Yeah.
And I've got spiritual fathers, Odin and Thor.
I mean, I have a spiritual guide, so...
No, I've got one of them and all.
A wolf. There you go. So I thought we'll just get that in the end. We won't talk about the last thing we're going to talk about. We'll talk about that in the next vlog.
The best thing, if you've got any slight problems, tell someone.
Yeah, say hello to us. We'll chat to you.
Don't sit there thinking,
You got friends.
Yeah. If not, if you've got the slightest inclination, say it. Because we're not mind readers. Your friends, you've got friends, though you may not think so. And go and see a GP. Find out the cause. Drugs will only just...
They don't hold.
No. They don't solve the situation.
They just kind of dilute the situation. You don't think about it for a while, but it still builds up from inside of you. And, my motto in life is, well, life is always too short and there's always somebody far worse off than yourself. So be thankful for what you got and live each day to the full, I think Walt Whitman was right, seize the day, and yes. So there you go, the end of the 28th vlog. Okay. Who'd have thought it?
Very profound.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy this one. I've got to edit it now. Oh,
yeah.
It'd take about 5 hours to render, Egil.
Well, never mind.
If you've got any comments, what should I do?
Hashtag
Viking vlog. You could leave a comment in the standard way.
Press the old bell.
Yes, if you're new to the channel and you're the first time you're seeing us, hello, welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm groovy, thank you.
Oh, I'm groovy too.
Woof woof.
Oh yes. And I think those are the wise words to end on there. Stay groovy.
Yeah.